Good morning, class.
Morning,
Morning,
madam.
madam.
Okay, so you get ready with your exercise and also your red pen. We are going to check on self-practice 2.2F. Okay. So let's see the first question here on self-practice 2.2F. Number one, for each of the following matrices, determine whether the inverse matrix exists. If yes, calculate the inverse matrix. So we already know that to determine whether the inverse matrix exists, the determinant must be 0 or 1. Do you remember, class?
0.
Cannot be 0. If the inverse matrix exists, meaning that the determinant must not be 0. So if it is 0, then there's no inverse matrix. Okay, remember this, huh? So let us look at A first. A, you have 6, 0, 0, 1, this one. So we are going to look at the determinant AD minus BC. So from there, we get a 6. 6 is not equal to 0. Okay, therefore, or hence, inverse matrix exists. This one, huh? Check yours. So we are going to look for the inverse matrix. You are going to find out 1 over AD minus BC, and then you exchange the position of the 1 and 6. The 0, it remains because there's no negative 0. Okay, so after the calculation, you will get this 1 over 6, 0, 6, 1, 0, 1. Okay, next we move to B. 2, 3, and 1, 2. This one. So we find the determinant. 2 times 2 minus 3 times 1, we get a 1, so it's not equal to 0 here. Hence, inverse matrix exists. Okay, next we find the inverse matrix because there is an inverse matrix over there. So it is 1 over 2 times 2 minus 3 times 1. Okay, and then the 2 exchange with 2, it remains the same. The negative 3 add on the negative sign and the 1 add on the negative sign. So you do the calculation. Okay, and we will get 2, negative 3, negative 1, 2. Check yours. After that, question C. So look for the determinant again. The determinant is 3, so it's not equal to 0 here. Hence, inverse matrix exists. Okay, so we look for the inverse matrix of it. 1 over the determinant, and then you find the inverse matrix of A, B, C, D over here. You multiply by it. So we will have negative 3, negative 3 over 5, negative 1, and negative 2 over 3. Check yours. Last one. So when you look for the determinant AD minus BC, we have 4 times 1 minus 2 times 2. So that is a 0 here. When it is 0, the inverse matrix does not exist. Okay. Next, we move to question number 2. Calculate the inverse matrices for the following matrices, meaning that all of it we have the determinant. The determinant is not equal to 0. So 1 over AD minus BC for A, you look for your part A, this one. So you exchange your 5 and 3, becomes 3, 5. Add on the negative sign for 6 and 2, becomes negative 6, negative 2. Do the calculation. So it is 1, negative 2, negative 2 over 3, 5 over 3. Followed by question B. So 1 over 2 times 5 minus 3 times 3, multiply with the AD and ABCD. So we get 5, negative 3, negative 3, 2. Okay, you check. Next one. C, so 1 over AD minus BC, so 4 times 2 minus negative 2 times negative 3. And then from the formula, the D and negative B, and then negative C, A over here. So you get 1, 1, 3 over 2, 2. For question D, the answer here, you check, negative 7 over 4, negative 5 over 4, half and a half. Okay, we move to question number 3. It is given that matrix G equals to 2, 1, 3, P. Calculate the value of P if A here, matrix G does not have an inverse matrix. So if it does not have an inverse matrix, meaning that the determinant is equal to 0. The determinant for G is equal to 0. So you multiply 2 with P minus 1 times 3, it is equal to 0. Make the equation like this. So we find that P is equal to 3 over 2. Okay, next question. If the value of the inverse matrix of G is equal to this, so you will ask to find out the value of P. So what we do is, when you multiply the index with the inverse with the matrix with the inverse matrix of it, so we get an identity matrix. Okay, so when you were given G, the inverse matrix of G, meaning that you have to look for G. So from the equation given, you can see from the top here. Three. What is missing here? Oh, I miss out this. Don't know how come it is gone. Okay, G is 213p multiplied by, this is 4 over 5 times negative 1 over 5 times 3 over 5 here, 2 over 5 is equal to 0. Okay, equal to 0. This one don't have. How come it is lost? Okay, never mind. So I took this part over here, 3p, and this part. It's up to you which part you want to take, so that you can make it equal to the answer that you want later on. So the identity matrix, which is 1 0 0 1, like this. Okay, I'm going to make equation 3 times negative 1 over 5 plus p times 2 over 5 is 2 over 5p is equal to 1. Okay, so you make equation like this. So we will have 2 over 5p equal to 1 plus, this one becomes plus 3 over 5. Okay, you do the calculation, so you will get the p is equal to 4. Okay, next for question number 4 here, it is given something, the matrix multiplied by p is equal to the identity matrix, and matrix p has an order of 2 times 2. So calculate matrix p, this one. Okay, so to calculate the matrix P, we are going to move this to the right, which means you are going to use the formula of the inverse matrix, okay, whereby it is 1 over the determinant multiplied with the D, negative B, negative C, and A. So over here is 4 times 1 minus 10 times half, this one, this times this, minus this times this, and then you exchange the position over here by adding on the negative sign also. So then you find out the answer. Okay, so P is equal to 1 over 4 minus 5 multiplied by 1, negative 10, negative half, and 4, and you will get negative 1, 10, 1 over 2, and negative 4, like this. That's matrix P, because we were looking for the inverse of it. Okay, so is that all the question? Let me see. 2.2F, yes, up to question number 4 only. Do you have any question, class?
No question.
No questions.
Okay, good. Then we move on to simultaneous linear equation today. You are going to use the matrix method to solve the simultaneous linear equation. So hopefully you still remember simultaneous linear equation. This one you learn in Form 1. After that in Form 3 also you have it. So let's see. Okay, how to use matrix method to solve simultaneous linear equation. So if you look at the yellow box over there, you're given simultaneous linear equation like this. 2 linear equations given. So we are going to solve it by, actually, you are going to apply the formula. You see you have A, B, C, D multiplied with X, Y is equal to PQ. So in order for you to find X, Y, it is the inverse, which is 1 over AD minus BC, the formula given, multiplied with PQ, this one here. Okay, that is the way of looking for the value of X, Y. Okay, now, these are the application on how to get the answer actually. So I just show it to you how you get this final formula here. So you can see matrix in the form of AX equal to B, so which means this one is matrix A, this one is X, this is equal to B. So we have this here. Okay, when it comes to the multiplication of the inverse matrix of A, okay, multiplied by it, so the B also multiplied by the inverse matrix of A. And then we also know that A, inverse of A multiplied by A is an identity matrix. So this one we cannot change. It remains the inverse matrix of A multiplied by B. And then anything multiplied by the inverse matrix, we get that matrix itself. Hopefully you still remember. So I multiplied by X, we get X. Therefore, the formula is X is equal to inverse of A multiplied by B. So to get X, this one, it is equal to the inverse of A. So we get the inverse of this. The inverse is this formula here, multiplied by B. So this is B. Okay, so you just need to remember here. Whenever they ask you to find this one, X, Y, it is the inverse. We multiply the inverse first, which is AD minus BC, multiplied by the matrix over here, which is DA, negative B, negative C, okay, and multiply by the last matrix given, PQ, to get the answer. Okay, now we look at example 27 over here. Write the simultaneous linear equations below in the form of matrix. So this one is simple. You just need to change them into the form of matrix. So from here, we are going to take the coefficient of each of it. The coefficient for the first term here, 3x is 3. 5x is 5. The coefficient for 4y here is 4. The coefficient for negative 6y here is negative 6. So just replace everything in matrix 2 by 2. This will be 3, 5, 4, negative 6. Okay, and then you can see they have x and y. For that, so you are going to put them into x and y like this, equal to 12, 7. Just like this to change it to the form of matrix. So you can check again one more time here. For example, we multiply the first row with it. It becomes 3x plus 4y. So we get this is equal to 12. So they are the same. Okay, therefore we have formed up the simultaneous linear equation in the form of matrix. This is the answer. Okay, now we move to example 28. So this is the way of showing how to replace the value. This one, so I don't have to show you anymore. You can read it on your own. Okay, now we look at example 28 here. Solve the simultaneous linear equation below using the matrix method. So before we start solving them, you have to write down in the form of matrix. Okay, so for term x over here, the coefficient is 1. Okay, I changed the color. Okay, I write down 1. And then for the second element is negative 2. So we write down here. This one, second row is 3. And the second element is negative 4. So this is the way we write it down. Okay, the variable that we have over here is x and y. So it is equal to 1, 4. Okay, next, they ask you to solve it. If they ask you to solve it, meaning that they want you to find out the value of x and y. So just now you have to apply what we have done earlier to find out the value of x and y. We cannot write down the 1, 4 first. This one cannot be written down first. You have to look for the inverse. So the inverse is 1 over AD minus BC, which is 1 multiplied by negative 4 minus negative 2 times 3. Okay, and then exchange the position of negative 1 and negative 4, 1 and negative 4. This becomes positive 2 and this becomes negative 3. Lastly, copy down the 1 and 4. You bear in mind the formula, this formula here, it must come first before the matrix that is written. You cannot put it at the back. Okay, if you put it at the back, the answer won't be the same anymore. Okay, so let's continue in solving it. So this one we continue. One more thing to bear in mind when you solve it also. So let's see. This part here. Negative 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. So I think I use yellow. Okay, negative 4. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. So this is negative times negative 6. It becomes negative 4 plus 6. Negative 4 plus 6 is a 2. Okay, so this is 1 over 2, which is done already. Now we have to look at the next part. Usually we will multiply like this, right? With each one of the element. But now we don't solve it this way. When it comes to the multiplication of the matrix like this, we are going to solve these two matrices first. Okay, so this will be negative 4 times 1 plus 2 times 4. Okay, so I'm going to put it in all together. Here we know that this is matrix 2 by 2, this is matrix 2 by 1, which means that the product of these two matrices will be matrix 2 by 1. Okay, so matrix 2 by 1 is a long matrix like this. Therefore, now we are going to do a calculation. Negative 4 times 1. This one, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 8. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4. So you write down the 4 here. Now, the calculation on the second part here. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Plus 1 times 4 is a 4. So negative 3 plus 4 is a 1. Okay, so lastly, actually we write down here lah, nicely. Yeah? So 1 over 2 times 4, we get a, how much? 2, right? 1 over 2 times 1, it remains the same. So it's still 1 over 2. Okay, so our answer is solved already, but then it's not done yet because they were asking you to find out, not to solve. When they ask you to solve, you have to state the answer for each of the value given. So for example, x, y is equal to 2, 1 over 2. Therefore, or thus, the value of x is equal to 2. You just compare it directly, and y is equal to half. Okay, so that is about solving simultaneous linear equation. Do you have any question? Any question, class?
No.
No,
Question?
madam.
Okay,
No
now
question.
a bit of the critical mind. Look at this critical mind. Okay, here, this one. Is this multiplication feasible? Can be used or not? This multiplication feasible or not? A multiplied by the inverse matrix of A times X is the B times A with the inverse matrix of A. This one. They compare this with this. Okay, so can you check on your own whether it is feasible or not? You check first, huh? Okay, that one is on page 62 in your book. Think about it because I think I gave you the answer already just now. Well, okay, for example, you will do this one first. The inverse matrix of A is D, A, negative D, negative C, and then the front part is AD minus BC. That is the inverse matrix of A multiplied by B. So your B is PQ. Can you imagine, are they the same if I put the PQ in front and then 1 over AD minus BC at the back with D, negative B, negative C, A here. Are they the same, class?
No.
Yeah, they are not the same, so you cannot do that way. You got to always remember the inverse comes first. Okay, now we look at the next one, the critical mind here. This one. If the question in example 27, 5x minus 7y equal to 7 and 3x plus 4y equal to 12 are written in the form of a matrix, thus the arrangement of the equation will affect the answer. For example, example 27, just now. This is the example. Okay, I move it up so that you can compare. First, they were given 3x plus 4y equal to 12 and then 5x minus 6y equal to 7. Now they exchange it, becomes like this. So the question asks you, does the arrangement of the equation affect the answer? Yes or no? Think about it. Will it affect the answer? Will it affect the answer, class? Anybody? No idea?
Yes.
No idea, madam.
No idea. It won't affect the answer. The answer will be still the same because you will arrange it according to the new matrix form. So it will be 5, 3, -6, 4 like this. And then still x and y equal to 7, 12. You will still get the correct answer later on after the multiplication to get the inverse matrix of x and y, because the x and y over here you will do like this is equal to the inverse matrix of 5 times 4 minus -6 times 3, and then this one becomes 4, 5, 6, -3 multiplied by 7, 12. You will get the same answer. Okay, so it won't affect the answer. You just remember that. Okay, now to make our day more fun, you look at self-practice 2.2G over here. Question number 1, they asked you to write the simultaneous linear equation below in the form of matrix. Okay, my question over here, if you go back to your GC, we are now in Google Meet, right? You go back to your GC, point it at these Google apps over here. Do you all have Jamboard? This one.
Yes.
Yes, right? Okay, everybody open your Jamboard. I'm going to ask you to do some presentation today. So open up your Jamboard, open up one Jamboard. You have this thing, right? Okay, try to solve the first question here. This is the one. Okay, A, x minus y equal to 7, x plus 3y equal to 5. So everybody, I want you to write down in your Jamboard for the answer for me by using whatever you have. You can use your hand and then show me the answer, right? I give you 30 seconds. You write down the answer for the first question here. And then I'm going to ask you to present your answer later on. 1 minute.
Madam.
Yes?
Madam,
Yeah?
how to create the Jamboard?
Oh, you don't have it, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, Aiman already shared a gem file with the meeting. Okay, later on. If you don't have that Jamboard, what you do is you go to this Google Apps over here. You scroll down. You can see more from Google Workspace Marketplace over here. So you click on that. Try to search for that app over here by typing the Jamboard. I'm not sure whether mine still can work or not because I already installed it. You try to type Jamboard and see whether the app come up or not. Can you try that, Gary?
Yes.
Okay, you try it now.
Just write the answer, madam.
Just write the answer only for the first question. A.
Okay.
Okay. So hopefully Gary managed to do it. Now let's see what is Aiman posting over here. Is that your answer, Aiman?
Oh, not yet, madam. Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
Okay. Anybody have done it? Anyone done with your answer already?
Not yet, madam. Still installing.
Okay. I'll let you learn slowly. Is this the first time you use the Jamboard?
Yes.
Yes, madam. Never use
Okay.
it.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see the button. I'm sure you can use it already. The second one is the eraser and so on. The knot and so on. You also can type if you don't want to write, but then we don't have the bracket. Maybe you have to use a big bracket. Type also can. Let me see. This one. The square bracket, yes, we can do it. But then you have to put the number It's a bit hard to arrange lah. Writing is easier. Ah, is it? If you use phone, you don't have Jamboard. Okay, in that case, what can you do? You have not, right? Not. Font, you can write down using not, right? Yeah, need to download. If you're using font, then you just open up your note and you write down the answer using your free hand. I think you can use the note. Let me see. I check first. Yes, we can use handwrite. Do you want me to teach you using the hand font? Okay, the question is this exercise over here. 2.2g, x minus y equal to 7, x plus 3y equal to 5. Okay, I write down here.
Yeah, my Jamboard, madam.
Pardon?
The one I sent.
Can already, is it?
I think so. I guess.
You think so? Okay. You hold on while I let the rest on how to solve the question using their font. For those using your font, can you solve the question? What you can do is, how do I show you this one? Let me see.
Then
Yes, Gary.
I think I will be done.
Again, what do you say, Gary? Gary?
I think I have the Jamboard already.
You don't have, huh?
I have already, but
Can
I
you?
didn't.
Okay, never mind. If you can, you install it and get ready for next lesson. Next lesson, we might need to use it. So we look at Aiman's.
Already have them.
Yeah, Gary.
Already have.
Already have, So can you write down the answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. So Aiman, let's see what you share. Still need access.
Hey, no, wait, dama.
Never mind. Can you don't share it? Okay, so I choose you right now. Can you present your work?
Can.
Can, right? Okay, so do I have to stop presenting over here?
Oh, yes, you need to.
Yes, right. Okay, I stop present first, Okay, now it's Aiman turns to present his work right now. We wait for Aiman's answer. X minus y equal to 7. So you can see from here, 1 times x is x minus y equal to 7 for the first one. Yes, correct. X, okay, 1 times x plus 3y equal to 5. Yes, that's the answer. Very good, correct. Everybody can see it?
Yes.
And
I must find some more. Okay, let's move to the second question, class. Okay, Aiman, you stop present,
Okay,
Now,
thank you, madam.
the second question. Thank you, Aiman. Very good job.
Yes,
So the second question here is 3x plus y equal to 0, 5x plus 2y equal to negative 14. So you all write down in your Jamboard. Okay, I write down also so that you can present later on. If you have your book, you open up your book. That's on page 63. This one I cannot write off. That is 3x plus y equals to 0 and 5x plus 2y equal to negative 14. So if you copy it down here, it will be easier for you to arrange it in the matrix form. Okay. It's easy to get the answer, right? So I'm going to start the presenting again. Tell me who is ready to present your work. Anyone is ready to present your work? Those that using handphone also can. If you use the notepad, you can use freehand to write and then show me the answer by present your screen. You share your screen. Are you done, class? Anyone is ready?
Done, madam.
Okay, Rishdina, can you show me your show me your screen, huh?
Okay.
You press present now and then show us the screen.
Middle ka, madam?
Pardon?
Present now and then accept
You
ka?
press present now. After that, you move to your Jamboard. Gary also want to present. Gary, you have the answer already.
Ready.
Okay, Rashina, then you have to give way to Gary. He come first. Thank you, Rashina. So Gary's answer is 3152. Okay, let us check. 3152. All positive is equal to 0, negative 14. This one is x, huh? X, y. Correct or not, class? The rest, is it correct?
My answer is correct.
Yeah, it is.
Can you all see what is he present over here?
Can.
Right. So his answer is correct, huh? Thank you, Gary. Very good. Now no need to sign. Okay, let's move forward. So I think we don't want to waste the time anymore. I'll give the rest of the exercise to you all. So we are going to do this Jamboard once a while. So make sure all of you install the Jamboard in your GC later on. Okay, in your Google. So here, I want you to do the exercise on self-practice 2.2G because we have done A and D already. So number one, you just need to complete all the C, D, E, F, G, H. Followed by question number 2. Question number 3, you don't have to do all. So I choose 4 questions for you, which is E, F, G, H. That's all for the exercise today. Any question, class?
Repeat, madam.
I repeat. Okay. For the first question, pardon?
Or repeat again the question.
I'll repeat. Number 1, exclude A and B. Number 2, you have to do it. Number 3, exclude A, B, C, D. The rest you have to do. Clear?
Yeah, okay, madam.
Okay, so I'll see you on Friday, 7:30 a.m.
Madam,
Okay.
Yes. What's the question?
repeat the homework.
Repeat the homework, is it?
Yes.
Okay, here the homework. Can you see I'm sharing the screen with you, right? Number 1,
Yes.
do all, exclude A and B. Number 2, you have to do it. Number 3, you have to do E, F, G, and H.
Number 3, what, madam?
E, F, G, H for question number 2.
Number 3, E, F, G.
E, F, G, H, yes. Okay, Okay, so I'll see you on Friday, class.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Bye, madam.
Madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Bye,
Thank you
madam.
very much, madam.
Attendance in GC, don't forget that.
Okay.
Thank you to the teach, madam.
Okay, you're welcome.